Alright, 3, 2, 1, I'll start in a bit. Okay, first off, government is completely wrong, and that is why I'll start by recharacterizing our debate. First off, why is the descriptive claim? Two, academic excellence promotes learning. Why does it promote learning? Because it's actually very goal-oriented and it's very structured compared to the system that government promotes. First off, why? Because in the system where everything is structured and you see a grade system, you'll be able to track your progress and see what habits and what things are contributing or maybe even detrimental to your grades and your academic excellence, which will be able to very improve your motivation and your discipline and your growth and your motivation to learn and also your creativity to keep improving within the system. And secondly, why is academic excellence the main method of evaluating skill and merit in a certain status quo, and why is it so important? Because a majority of colleges and workplaces, they depend on seeing these academic excellence, for example grades, not just a pass or fail, to see whether or not this person would value being in this would be of value being in this college or company. And why does this matter? Because having a D versus an A is a vastly different quality of skill that a person has, and because of that, the quality of a person that a college or workplace hires will be vastly different if you just hire passes. Meanwhile, if you only, let's say you only hire from an A or a B, you'll be able to make sure that the people that you hire will be able to have a quality skill set that's designed to be able to keep up with the rigor of the things that you want to do. So moving on to our goals, what do we want from our world? We want a world where academic excellence's importance stands out, and it isn't diminished because of what government said. Because academic excellence is so important, and what is our burden of proof? We just have to prove why academic excellence is important in this current status quo, or in the current world. And first off, I'll just like to rebut any of points that government has made. First off, government has said that this kind of like a flip, not really a rebuttal that they attacked from us, but a statement they made. They said that you don't have to be good at every subject, you just have to try maximally at every opportunity given to you. Not only does this mindset promote promote stress and also promote anxiety, like what government is trying to hinder, which actually I flip this on them, because in fact, this is actually academic excellence, because measuring how well you do at certain opportunity is actually academic excellence, because you're measuring how excellent you do at certain academic. Okay, that is just a flip. And now, secondly, they also said that academic excellence is not within the control of the students and it's actually dictated by external sources. First off, I also just to say that those external sources, such as like luck during birth or financial situations, actually exist on both sides of the house. For example, on government side of the house, you will actually still have access to tutors and books. They'll help you learn more. But the difference is that the importance of those tutors are actually very, very, very lessened on government side of the house, because government side of the house only prioritizes pass or fail. And because of that, they really don't the government they feel like they don't need tutors to learn. And because of that, these students, they don't feel the need to learn, and they don't even feel the need for tutors to books to encourage their learning, which will lead to worse learning. And even if they want to learn, this will lead to, as you said, stress and anxiety that you are quote unquote trying to reduce. Which side is it? You have to agree on one thing, because what you're saying is basically an oxymoron. And again, even let's say that even if let's say like I could like okay, maybe economic inequality exists worse on my side of the house. At least on my side of the house, there isn't a bigger factor that is measuring how well these students learn, and that is the students' environment and how they respond to it. First off, why is it bad that your student environment is promoting only passing or failing? Because I'll get that more into my arguments later on. And you also said that access to validation is exclusive to government side, which actually might be true, but the quality of the validation very much matters here, because of what I'll say later on in my argument, which I'll get into right now. First off, my first argument: why is it academic excellence actually improves learning? Because why? Students aren't used. Problem is, students are used to rigorous training on their side of the house. Students have no motivation, and they are encouraged to do the bare minimum, because students don't know the difference between barely passing from passing with flying colors. And because of this will impact their personal life through laziness and lack of motivation in their personal life. And again, in the society, it will improve. It will actually detriment these places of higher learning, such as colleges and workplaces. They will struggle to find and or even differentiate a skilled and an unskilled student because all they measure is just passing. And in the cultural setting, there will be a surge of lazy students, and that will see that there is no more purpose for them to be able to achieve high grades. So the amount of skilled students will decrease, and therefore the economic stability of the world will be able to crumble because of a lack of capable workers that will be able to support the industries that are needed to sustain our society. And what is the government's opposition solution to this problem? First off, academic excellence. It introduces a structured system where students will be motivated to become better because they will see and be able to track their progress and see that getting a D, even though it is passing, is not good and will very much detriment their future. And then colleges and workplaces, they'll be able to spot a skilled student, and and industries be able to keep running. And weighing, finally, why is it good? Because because on government side, they promote laziness, they promote bare minimum, they promote risk of societal and economic instability. And meanwhile, on government side of the house, on opposition side of the house, we promote motivation, we promote learning, and we promote students, and we promote a world where the world will be able to be supported by these students who are motivated by learning. And okay, and my second mini argument is why student anxiety actually exists worse on your side of the house. Because meanwhile, the problem is student anxiety might not exist right now because of just passing or failing, but it will exist later in the future when they are not accepted into jobs, because jobs don't know how to measure these students. They'll suffer and they'll get fired and end up having to suffer from anxiety and stress and much more later on in their adult life. Meanwhile, on our side of the house, we'll be able to avoid that because students will be able to choose what jobs that they are suited for. And that is why I'm proud to oppose. Thank you.